Eric, this is a really tricky question, and I understand it's a bit cruel of me to ask it of you, but everyone knows that the younger generations are voting left. They're not just voting for Labor, they're voting Greens, and that is not necessarily a comment on Conservative politics. It's more to do with how they've been raised through the schooling system, which has been a lot of messaging towards saying that voting Green means that you are virtuous, and that's what they're thinking at the time. Now, is this an opportunity in Tasmania, as the last Liberal stronghold out there, to demonstrate to these young voters through action rather than empty slogans that a Conservative government can actually be good for them, and to convince these younger voters of the Conservative message by how you lead the state?
I think the point you make is very, very valid. Our education system is telling our children that within the next few years they are going to fry because of climate change. They live on stolen property. It's a diet of negativity rather than a diet of thankfulness that they live in the best state, in the best country in the world. And it's that positivity and energising young people for the future that is missing from our education system, besides teaching them the basics. I have been heartened, though, that in this election, the 18 to 25-year-olds do seem to be a bit more open to Conservative ideas than the 25 to 35-year cohort. So I would like to think that there is a swing back, and as Conservatives, we need to really take that advantage home. And what we need to do is be strong in the defence of facts and genuine history. So if I may just very briefly, towards the end of my term as a senator, I had a delegation of students, high school students, telling me that the bushfires that we had that season were the worst in Tasmanian history and was all about climate change. So when they'd given their presentation to me, to which I respectfully listened, I then asked the question whether anybody had died in these fires, and they said no. I said, how many houses were lost? They said 3. I then asked them, have you heard about the 1967 bushfires? And they had not been told anything about the 1967 bushfires in Tasmania. And I said, well, over 60 people lost their lives in one day and 1,300 houses were destroyed in one day. Which do you think was the worst fire in Tasmanian history? They had not been taught that basic fact. I was a young primary school child and evacuated to the local beach at Blackman's Bay as the fire swept through. That our students aren't being told and taught the facts and being scared into believing things which are simply false on any objective analysis is a matter of genuine concern. And that is where, rather than agreeing to the mantra whenever it's stated, we have to say, no, that is wrong. The facts are, and I encourage the students to go back to their school and ask, teacher, why didn't you tell us about the 1967 bushfires? Because we embarrassed ourselves in front of a senator saying these are the worst bushfires ever in Tasmanian history when they clearly weren't.
I guarantee you the answer is that the teachers didn't know about them, because the teachers don't really have the same depth of knowledge as, say, our teachers had when we were growing up. I feel like I should have to pick you up on that whole best state comment, though, on behalf of Dave and myself from competing states. I'm not going to let you get away with that one. Although maybe on this occasion, because you're elected, I'll let you have it this time round. But that's the last time you're getting that one, Eric.